Capricorn, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In these weekly videos, I review the major planetary aspects and transits, basically the charts for the week, and then I focus that down into Capricorn specific information, and then I will break everything down into the 3 decans of Capricorn. A decan is just a group of 10 degrees that astrologers use for organization. Every zodiac sign has 3 of them, but it helps us understand and more pinpoint more exactly what aspects are impacting specific planets. And in these cases, we're talking about your natal sun. And I will translate all of that for you into how that would impact your bottom line. To understand this video, all you need to know is your birth date. That's it. Everything else I'm going to translate for you. Let's dive in. This is for the week of August 23rd to the 29th of 2023. I've got it all written down for y'all. That's right. That's right. Now, August 23rd is a big date because the sun is in Virgo. Happy Virgo season to all your Virgo friends. Let them know. Give them a shout out. The birthday's coming up. So this is the sun moves into Virgo. The sun in Virgo is very different than the sun in Leo. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So the sun in Virgo is all about, it shines through its process. It shines through how it gets something done. It shines through how it makes sense out of everything and how it compartmentalizes everything and how it makes everything work. Effectiveness, efficiency, reliability. That's how the sun shines in Virgo. Mercury goes retrograde the same day. That's right. August 23rd, that's tomorrow. Actually, that's today. That's today. August 23rd, Mercury is officially in retrograde. Honestly, not that big of a deal because we've already been feeling it. Tell me that your phone hasn't been freezing. You know what I'm saying? People have been complaining to me left and right. There's trouble with my sound, though that's been going on for a couple months. Still, let me say, we have been feeling Mercury retrograde big time. Big time. So we're going to start Mercury retrograde now. It'll retrograde till about mid-September. Shadow period will definitely be over by end of September. So we're going to be in the thick of it. And we'll see how this Mercury is going to be impacting you directly when we break things down into the decans. Don't you worry. On the 27th of this week, Mars goes into Libra. Okay. There are a couple of things that are happening this week that are really slowing us down. One of them is Mercury retrograde, in combination with the fact that Venus is in retrograde, and then we got the major planets. This is retrograde season, so Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn are already in retrograde, and I hate to break it to you, but by September 3rd, you're going to have Uranus and Jupiter in retrograde as well. So, listen. Venus is going to come out of retrograde on September 4th, but that still means that for at least one day, all the major planets are retrograde except for Mars. This is not a fast-moving period. And then the sun moving into Virgo, that's really not fast-moving, confident energy either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, everything is kind of becoming more facetious, becoming more, look at the details, the devil's in the details, let's find it. But Mars moving into Libra, even though Mars isn't in retrograde, Mars moving into Libra is going to slow shit down because Mars is in detriment in Libra. Mars rules Aries. It's in the opposite sign. Listen, it's going to slow things down. Mars in Libra likes to try both things before deciding which path. Almost likes to walk both paths to come back and see, well, which one's better? Which one will I recommend to people? So Mars in Libra loses energy for the forward momentum, and it's more of a sidewindy kind of thing, or back and forth between two different possibilities. It doesn't really have that full steam ahead Mars energy that we so love. The fact that Mars is also going to be in opposition to Neptune while it enters Libra should make us all go eek, because Mars opposite Neptune will really make us feel major insecurities, and any action that we take could usually be based on like jumping at shadows, jumping at phantoms, not really based in hard fact or evidence or even something that's really productive. So maybe Mars heading into Libra is a good thing because at least it'll make it deliberate a little bit before it leaps to some stupid ass conclusions, is all I'm trying to say. We also have Mercury retrograde opposite Neptune, which is very confusing energy. It could be that we need to slow down so that we can really look at things a little bit deeper because we've been missing stuff. Mars opposite Neptune is very deceptive energy. It's energy where our minds are fogged and it's easy to distract us and convince us that the sky is red and the water is black. You know what I'm saying? It's like up is down, down is up. Things that make sense. It's foggy now. It's not clear. All of this stuff, Mercury retrograde, we're going to actually start to see a lot of these maybe falsehoods get exposed. That could help us out a lot. But we also have Sun in opposition to Saturn. And that's actually could be good in this climate of exposing what's been false, because Sun opposite Saturn makes us feel really oppressed. And it's going to highlight the ways that we have been oppressed, restricted, and not allowed to be ourselves. And it's not going to be pretty on the other side when the Sun finally starts to come out of it. By the end of this week, the Sun will be, I think, at 6 degrees Virgo. And Saturn is at 4 degrees, 3 degrees Neptune. So by the middle of next week, the Sun opposition to Saturn will actually start to break apart. So that's actually some good stuff. We could actually start making some advancements around that time. And then we have Mercury trine Uranus, which means there are going to be surprises with what we find when Mercury is in retrograde. Let's go into Capricorn specific stuff, shall we? So what do I do to understand Capricorn specific energy? Well, number one, I look at what's going on in Capricorn, the zodiac sign, and then I look at what's going on with your ruling dignitary. So let's start with what's going on in Capricorn. You got Pluto, right? The planet of absolute change, transformation, metamorphosis. It's at 28 degrees Capricorn. And then we also have the moon on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. So 26th to the 28th. For about 2.5 days, the moon is going to be traveling and conjuncting all of your natal suns, and I'll tell you exactly when that's going to happen for each of the decans, but 26th to the 28th. Now, moon conjunct your natal suns is actually really nice energy. It's very helpful. It makes you feel more whole and complete and brings your emotions. It's like when your id meets your ego and they work in unison together. So that's actually really nice, harmonious energy. There is some complications for a group of you, and we'll get into that. Let's talk about Saturn, because we're still talking about all of you right now. Saturn is in opposition to the Sun all week long. It's also semi-square to Chiron. Now, the semi-square to Chiron is going to last a while. But the fact that the opposition to the Sun is just for the next week and a half. But that's going to exacerbate that semi-square to Chiron. And what is a semi-square to Chiron? It kind of generates the energy of us, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of sense of, am I never going to be good enough? You know, that kind of energy, or that real feeling of no matter what I do, you know, somebody will always try to restrict me, almost like a hopelessness. It could generate the energy of hopelessness. Now, by itself, it may not be too poignant, but the fact that the Saturn is also in opposition to the Sun right now, that can make us feel really shitty, right? Especially you guys, be majorly impacted. Could be a difficult week dealing with your responsibilities or people you are responsible for, feeling like you're never going to be good enough for them, feeling like you're held back, feeling the weights on your shoulders get tripled. That's kind of how it feels. It's really oppressive in terms of especially self-judgment for you guys. So self-care is very, very important this week. Taking time out and taking breaths and grounding yourself firm, like literally feet in the ground, feet in the sand. Meditation grounds you as well because you connect back to your breath. Anything that helps you release the anxieties is going to be very helpful throughout the whole week. Let's break things down into the decan, shall we? So If you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Capricorn, it is in the first decan of Capricorn. So you guys are Capricorn 1. You'd know this if you got your natal chart, which is free and easy. There's so many websites that do it. Just search it. Free natal chart, free birth chart, either one. It'll take you to the right places. But you need 3 pieces of information to get it done. You need your birth date, your birth time, and your birth location. Without these 3, the systems aren't going to provide you accurate information. You got to get those 3. In the United States, it's always on your birth certificate. But I've been told by people in other countries that I think it's like the time of birth isn't always written down. Ask your mom, ask your auntie. For those of you who are adopted, it could get a little iffy. Understood, so we would have an estimate, and there are different ways to estimate too. You guys might want to actually contact an astrologer to help you out. But for most of you, you'll be able to go to, once you get those 3 pieces of information, you'll be able to go to these sites, and they'll generate a natal chart for you in seconds. So if you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Capricorn, you're Capricorn 1. This correlates to December Capricorns. So December, say, 22nd through the 31st, that would be Capricorn 1s, that birthday range. Your natal suns are going to conjunct the moon on the 26th. So on the 26th, at one point, sometimes early in the morning, so some of you will still be sleeping, but throughout the rest of the day, it's going to really touch upon all of you. So overall, it is a day of feeling a little bit good, like good about yourselves. So this could be one of the nicest days for you this week, just because your sense of self is really firm. It's also a great time for you to manifest, because it's like your own little mini new moon. It's a time for you to be certain of what it is that you really care about and start to welcome it into your life. You have a long-term sextile to Saturn, which continues to encourage you and help you find opportunities to take lead or to take more responsibility and be noticed for it and succeed. This is productivity, getting things done. It's great for career. This week in particular, though, you have a square to Mars by the 26th of this week. So by the 26th of this week, especially those of you on the Sagittarius cusp, which is usually the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, because sometimes Capricorn season will start earlier, right? So it'll be you guys that'll especially feel this a little bit earlier in the week, maybe as early as the 24th. This square to Mars, which can make you more pop-offish, a little bit more impulsive, a little bit more quick to anger or defensive, but also a sense of like sort of arrested development, a lost momentum. So that will be something that will create a challenge for you this week, especially in terms of where your energy levels are at. We also have a trine to the sun, however. So that implies harmony, balance with your sense of self. So especially on the 26th, this is a beautiful day to really know what matters and to start manifesting it into your life. But it could be that, you feel really good about yourself, you're feeling really confident, you're ready to be seen, you got a lot of courage, you know who the hell you are, but then you feel like you can't get anything done. And that's going to frustrate you, super, super, super frustrating energy with that square to Mars. Or you could just be really quick to take action on things to the point of impulsivity when maybe other people aren't where you are. There's just going to be some challenges to you making progress and to your energy levels this week. And FYI. Let's move on to Capricorn 2s. So if you know that your natal suns are between 10 and 19 degrees Capricorn, your suns are in the second decan of Capricorn. So you are Capricorn 2. This correlates to birthdays usually between January 1st and January 11th. So your natal suns are going to be conjunct the moon sometime around the 27th. It could be wee hours of the morning, but generally speaking, there is this sense of self and a strong sense of manifestation. What do you want to bring into your life? Being more certain of who you are. You have a long-term square to Chiron, which has been making things a pain in the ass for you and making things extra struggle, extra difficulty. But ultimately, I think that there are a lot of things going on for you this week that could actually help out. You have a quincunx to Venus, which is sort of like that spur in your side, like you're a horse, that kind of says something with your romantic relationships, your financial situation is irritating the crap out of you to get you to move. Like, right? It's not comfortable, so that you're forced to do something about it. You could even get really irritated with your looks, like your aesthetic, like with the aesthetic around you. Not the best time to change your aesthetics, but to take note that something is frustrating you and to start figuring out a good thing to do, especially Venus retrograde, Mercury's retrograde. This is not the best time to make big property decisions or big purchase choices, but it is a good time. You're going to be like niggled, like, you know what I'm saying? Like agitated, nagged. That's what you're going to be. It's just going to be like irritating and frustrating for you. And it could bring to surface some things that you definitely still need to work on. Some things that maybe you need to catch up on or learn more about. During retrogrades, it's the perfect time to learn. Why am I frustrated? What's going on? And then, in a smart way, what can I do about it? We have a trine to Jupiter this week, though. So there's an optimism about you that is really helpful. I think the most optimistic day this week for you would be around the 27th. It's also a great time to manifest for you, because that trine to Jupiter is going to be a blessing. It's going to make things a little bit more fluent and easier. So it's a wonderful time for you to manifest and feel optimistic and feel like I'm not going to get dragged by this. So for you, I would say Capricorn 2's most productivity at this point. Let's get into Capricorn 3s. If you know that your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Capricorn, you are a Capricorn 3, because your natal sun is in the third decan of Capricorn. This correlates to Capricorn birthdays between January 12th and January 22nd. Sometimes Capricorn season goes all the way out to the 23rd. Sometimes it stops on the 21st. But it can go all the way out there. So, you cuspers would be the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and you guys would be on the Aquarius cusp. Your natal suns are going to be conjunct the moon by the 28th. Sometime between the 27th and the 28th, which once again usually brings a sense of wholeness, but because your natal suns are conjunct Pluto, and this is especially for those of you on the Aquarius cusp, those of you who are born around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of January, this is going to be an emotional day for you, because the moon is conjuncting Pluto. It doesn't have to be a bad day, but things will have a lot of meaning for you. There's going to be a lot of emotional reaction, and definitely a time when your emotions can shift because you're done with something. Now that could also be a time to make room for. It's still a powerful time to manifest, especially conjunct Pluto. But for those of you on the cusp, it's going to be the most intensely emotional. Your natal suns are in a long-term trine to Uranus, so happy surprises for you. Also feeling real comfortable with things that are outside of the box and a little bit odd. Then we also have a long-term sextile to Neptune. You guys are at the heart center of changing things, of realizing where change needs to happen, and inventing or creating a new systems of things. A sextile to Neptune is really creativity. Creativity, and the trine to Uranus means you also have the ingenuity to complement the creativity. So this can be a very productive and inventive and expanding couple of years for you, Capricorn 3s. For the next couple of months, your natal suns are going to be square the nodes, which means that there are game-changing, life-changing things that are happening, and you're going to start to see your life shift toward things that once made you feel uncomfortable. Not so much anymore. They're more attractive to you. They're more stimulating, and you want to be stimulated. Now, because the North Node and the South Node is in Libra and the North Node is in Aries, this could be that you're looking more to claim your independence, or to be independent and be happy about it because you're comfortable in a relationship or with your relationship status. But you'll start to see that toggle point happen in your life, and there could be some major changes over the next 4 months because of that. We have this week a trine to Mercury retrograde, and at least through the 27th. And for you cuspers, it'll be all week long, a trine to Mars. That means that there is a smoothness about your thought process. Things will become clear to you. And in terms of Mars energy, you'll know right where to put your actions and behaviors. Like, you'll feel fluid, especially in your body, right? If you ever want to take dance classes, now's the time, because you'll have a fluency in your body. You'll want to take action, but you'll be confident in your movements. With Mercury, you'll be confident in your thoughts, your intellect, your decision-making process. But since both of them are in opposition to Neptune, check twice about who you're dealing with. Because it could be a time when when you're confident, but you're a little bit too comfortable in what's being served to you. And that's not what you want. Just a little caveat I wanted to warn you guys of. So you let me know in the comments below what and how this is impacting you. How you like these readings. If you like these readings, be sure to like the reading and then share the video so everybody else can enjoy too. And come on over and subscribe to this channel so you can help Astrology Motivation grow. I'm so glad that I'm just starting to get introduced to some new people. That's great. And then I do a reading for Capricorn, a tarot card reading every single week. So I hope you guys will join me for that as well. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the videos. Bye, Capricorn.